Welcome to Fightsword Radio. I'm your host, Jake, a swordsmith, armorer, and fighter. Here, we discuss all the same fight sword topics you've heard before, but in ways you've never imagined.
Is your Nippon steel even glorious?
Pain is the base currency of fighting. Let me tell you, judging by how wrong he thought I was doing it, his neck beard must be on all the way down to the well-worn cushion of his armchair. Always remember, fight sword is love, fight sword is life.
All right, folks, today we bring you the comment section of reading.
Okay, first, I was minding my own business.
Bullshit!
I was!
All right, so we're going to talk today about the most viewed video on this channel. I don't know why it gets the hits it does. I really have no clue.
It's our worst fight.
So it's got, I think at this point, 41,000 hits for exactly no fucking reason.
None.
Zero reason at all.
We have better fights, guys. Trust us. If you find this video, literally click on any of our fights. They're all better.
Yes, and the partial reason for this was I was just transitioning from longsword to katana. Yes, it's a nodachi. I'm calling it a katana for the clickbait. Fucking sue me. I don't care. Jeez, dude.
And I'm training you how to use it as a mokkom.
Yes.
Or sorry, jinkom.
Jinkum, yeah.
That's a wooden sword versus a true edge, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. This is something to behold.
And for those of you watching, I'm the guy in the black knight armor, the gothic with the tournament grand bassinet. My buddy here, Jake, he's the one in the Asian analogous armor.
It's not Asian analogous. It's pretty loyal. Let's see, what is it? Sengoku period armor.
It actually is, especially if you
pretty
see it up close. He's never been so self-indulgent as to like bring the camera to bear on it close up. But if you ever get a chance to meet him in person, he's done a really sweet grotesque mask. And all right.
So first thing we're gonna do is just watch the fight real quick.
Mm-hmm. So keep in mind, Jake has absolutely no idea what he's doing. He is
At this point.
at this point.
Yeah, like, you know, all my footwork is like Western, but it immediately feels wrong and backwards with a katana. It's insane.
Keep in mind, I'm trying my historical footwear for the very first time, and it has no grip. So I've got like these weird little shuffle steps that don't work. But essentially, I'm just collecting his sword with my shilts and crossguard, keeping it close to conserve energy. And when he leaves himself open, I tag him. You really can't overbind a katana with such a light Italian judiciary dueling sword. You can with other swords have a little more meat on them, but mine just flexes too much. There's a couple of times it looks like he hits me in the head. Believe it or not, because of those shilts, he never scores a single hit on my head this whole fight.
Also because that first sword I made was a frickin' half circle. It wasn't a katana. It wasn't a nodachi. The truth of the matter is that I made a damn... what is it called? It's the ones that the Egyptians used.
Well, the Egyptians used a bronze weapon called it's actually a battle axe, but it looks like a sword.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
I know. Yeah.
You would say something that I should know, and it's absolutely lost me.
Nice going.
What you're thinking of is like a Persian shamshir.
That's
it.
it.
Has nothing to do with Egypt.
Yeah, well, I'm not thinking of a shamshir. I forget what it's called. I'll think of it before we're done. But I didn't actually make a nodachi. I made a freaking crescent-shaped piece of steel. So, like, I go for the head, and normally I get it, but it's like the tip has still got 6 inches to go. This is ridiculous. All right, so we're going to read these comments, but first...
Speaking of which, if you join us for the first time, welcome to Fightsword Radio. If you've been listening to us a while, hey, we appreciate all of our fans, even the ones a little more noisy and know-it-all-esque.
All right, well, before we do this...
Because you give us lots of laughs. You give us all the lulls. Thank you.
All right, well, before we get into this, I think we need to get in proper regalia, so...
Hit it.
Is that port?
A nice vintage port. It's necessary. I cannot summon enough pretentiousness to read this comment without it.
All right.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
I can summon enough pretentious know-it-allism.
All right,
I
one
have
second.
assumed the form of Armchair Warrior. Now, a reading from our comments list.
All right. This one's so good, it got a pin.
Yeah, we had to pin this. And gentlemen that we're making fun of, actually thank you for this sheer gold.
This is awesome.
I'm going to attempt to sound both simultaneously constipated and like I have a stick up my ass.
Awesome.
Ready?
All right, so funny sex number 69 provided the following.
First of all, that's just an Asian-inspired plate harness. Second of all, that's a tachi, not a katana. Difference being that a tachi is a lot more curved and longer. Third of all, hold on a second. This is just cringe. This isn't fighting. This is pretending. Because I studied the blade. No.
That's my line.
It's immediately apparent who's the Bohurt guy and who's the Hema guy. With a first glance. Thank you, by the way, Funny Snakes number 69. Because of the amazing skill gap and how poor quality fighters Bohurts produce. Bohurt is that one idiot in the gym who thinks hard sparring alone makes him the best fighter there is. Hold on, I gotta swirl my port. And maybe get my fanciest smelling rag. Bohurt is the retarded whom...
Joaquin Meyer.
that douche? Really?
Yeah, he's citing Joaquin Meyer.
A knife maker who fancied himself a master swordsman?
Yes.
So is he trolling me to make fun of him at this point?
I don't know if this is trolling. All right, so...
Okay, hold on. I gotta keep reading this. Sorry, guys. I haven't read this before. At least not this far. I read the first part and thought, okay, this is gold. Who Joaquin Meyer calls a brute. In both his unpublished 1568 manuscript and a published 57s, although goes best with port and cheese. Through a description of the art of fencing. Just because you hurt each other doesn't mean you learn any actual useful skill. The crap you learn could be learnt, my glamour's got it more gooder every day, so much more effectively and without all these artifacts and bad habits. Sorry, I gotta assume character again. Stick up the ass. Okay. Any Honishfesten practitioner could easily put you both in your place.
I gotta read this in parentheses. Brute. One that relies on his strength and physique to overwhelm his opponent quickly rather than train with finesse and control for the perfect Nogschlag.
Isn't it Nog? Okay, Nogreisen. Nogschlag is the wrong terminology.
I think it is. Somebody replied
guys,
to this.
So here's the thing. I clearly own a historically analogous fetter, port, wine glass, and for those of you who are interested in Hema history, you will actually recognize my silk arming doublet that I actually paid real money for. Because deep down in my heart, I am also, in addition to being a Bohurt fighter, a Hema schnob. But today, me and Jake are going to mildly poke fun at people who take it too seriously, so enjoy.
All right, so there's a couple of responses. I screenshotted this and put it on my Facebook profile, so I'm just going to pull up... some of these comments that came across my feed here.
Swirl the wine.
See if I can find it. Where is it? Come on. Okay, almost got it. All right. So we got a guy. He's actually a Bohurt fighter, but he also reads and stuff. Let's see if I can find him. Almost got it. All right.
Hold on, I have to take these off in the most pretentious manner possible.
Oh my gosh. Oh, where is he? Okay, I think I just about got it. Yeah, so Alexander Kumar Das on my Facebook profile, when I posted this, he goes, "Gotta love a dude who tells you know nothing about actual fighting," and then quotes a master whose manual is illustrated entirely with blunt training swords and was published about 50 to 70 years after longswords became militarily obsolete.
One more reply in the comment section of the post, or of the video itself. We read from Alexander Doss. We read, "Oh yeah, definitely take fighting advice from Joaquin Meyer, a knife smith who decided he was a fencing master with no combat experience whatsoever. That's why he teaches such a weak-ass bullshit kind of fencing where he complains about how physically fit people beat good fencers. Then you've got Fiore, who was an actual master who...
My personal favorite, actually.
Yeah, he's absolutely bastardous. I'm super
I
into
love
Fiore.
him so much.
Who was an actual master who actually fought in real duels and was a swordsman by trade his entire life, and he intentionally teaches you how to be a brute. He tells you how many teeth you should be knocking out with pommel strikes, because that's what fights are like. They're not pretty, they don't follow rules, and there isn't a consideration made for how sexy you look when you swing your sword. Also, what the hell is knockschlag, dude? Afterblow? That's a modern term. I think you mean knock ricin', guy. Read your effing material if you're going to be a snide little bitch on the internet."
Who was responded with that?
That's Alexander Doss. He's a Bohurt fighter out of California.
Alexander Doss. Very well put.
You're my hero, I think.
We happen to agree with you.
All right, so we'll take a couple more of these pretentious ones. Then we're actually going to get into some legit comments and speak to some very well-formulated thoughts and sort of explain ourselves. Let me get back into this stuff here. Gonna have to be doing a lot of pausing and cutting.
I forgot how good looking this thing is. Now I remember why I had it made.
Yeah, that thing is gorgeous.
I mean, these are actual solid brass buttons. This is real silk velvet.
Oh, of course it is. All right. Let's see if we can find it. This is a funny one from Marthinius Dawid van Rowan. I don't know how to say... Why don't people just... I don't know. We read a summary of the comment section. None of this is real. All of it looks fun. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Wayward Identity says, "Wait till the samurai puts it slowly back in the sheath with the clicking sound at the end and looks over his shoulder at his opponent. Nani!"
I just fall over dead.
I think I've filmed stuff like that, but it just, I don't know. I can't make it play well on camera. I don't know. Let's see if I can find another really juicy one. I'll just have to cut this out on the back end.
That's fair. There's some dude who posted a bunch of things and it appears to be a Japanese kanji?
Yeah.
Do we have a Google Translate on that?
Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. So we have from Ramash440. "The night sitting on the sidelines watching is such a mood. My knees hurt. It's getting damp inside this suit. Weep Johnny and Try Hard Dan are going at it again. I just want to have supper."
We love you. Just so you know, our friend who was sitting there was literally recovering from major surgery.
Oh, jeez.
And cancer.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, basically.
He was basically sitting there. You nailed it on the head.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. "You can't win by just slashing and hacking an armor. Piercing an exposed part is the way, but then someone might die. So this video here is pointless."
So you should also, I think, assume the essence of what some of these.
Yeah, you're right. Give me just a second here.
Hold on, we've just like.
I am a Lord of the Edge.
If you're a Lord of the Edge, did you Naruto run in here?
Yes.
Where's your katana? You gotta pull it down so you can't quite see your head either. There it is.
There it is. That's perfect.
There it is.
So I gotta angle it.
We never see your face. That's how it works. That's how
Yes.
you channel.
You basically just see all the emoting with my mouth, and if something is good, I grin.
Yes. That's fantastic.
Oh, man.
So now we have Armchair Warrior and Katana Beard.
Katana Beard.
I didn't even see you Naruto run in here.
I was just in my mother's basement, finished masturbating, and here I came. All over my waifu pillow. All right, so we got some great comments for you guys really quick here. All right, let me pull this up. Man, this would be a lot easier with a mouse. All right. "The samurai doesn't have footwork, and some of his postures are from kendo, not kenjutsu.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
All right. "Samurai never had full-plated steel armor. Please keep it correct." Okay, first and foremost, what are you talking about? They didn't have armor made of a ferrous material. That's not true at all. Sengoku period, case in point, case closed.
That one's
You're just wrong.
So basics.
Even the most cursory Google search disproves that one. That's not even worth explaining.
Okay, this is perfect. Music meditation. Right. That's not the way of the samurai. Samurai is precise and accurate and needs to be a lot of timing. Dude, you're, spelled incorrectly, just waggling it around. Cry emoji. Alright, dude. Knight would beat a samurai, but samurai's still cooler. Well, I mean, I won nationals, so bite me. Both failed to kill enemy. LARP battle, but with medals. This one's you, Walter Zimmerman. Right here.
Oh, hold on. I have to grab my port.
Yeah, you need your port for this one.
Gotta channel my armchair warriorness. Okay. The two dudes in armor with swords are not even half sword used. Okay, guys, I've got to make this really clear. Okay, we're not actually trying to kill each other. You want to know a really effective way to kill somebody? Stick a bit of pointy steel in them. I'm going to clear something up, right? I think we might clear this up. Bohurt is tournament fighting. A lot like boxing, right? You can't... Just because boxers wear gloves, just because there's a ref, just because there's certain rules, like no kicking in the groin, doesn't mean it's not fighting, okay?
Yeah, just fighting with parameters.
Correct. It's fighting with parameters. There is a historical documentation for it. We can leave it in the description underneath. Actually, of all the treatises and translations that historically correlate fighting to counted blows, and that's essentially the rules we use. No, you're unlikely to kill anyone with it, but you are likely to build incredible reflexes, stamina, and actually quite effective at fighting. It's like telling a boxer, well, you wear gloves and you guys don't punch below the belt, so therefore everything you do doesn't work. How come you're not grabbing a knife and poking each other with it? Like,
it's sort of like a mixed martial artist giving a boxer shit for not having takedown defense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like an MMA fighter going up to Floyd Mayweather and saying he doesn't know how to fight because he doesn't have takedown defense. Well, in his sportified fighting, you don't need it. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, okay. You know, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather got in the octagon together. Since I'm gonna get on this for a second, I'll go back to our camera view. But this would be a lot easier with an actual mouse instead of my mouse pad. You know, you remember the Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor fight, right?
Yes.
Floyd Mayweather, you know, the greatest defensive boxer of all time.
boring to watch, but my goodness, is he good at what he
He's
does.
an artist.
Yeah, he's an artist. Just
And,
boring.
you know, so there's a couple of rounds where Floyd was just kind of doing his thing, you know, just letting him think there was a fight going on, and then you get to like round 4 or 5, and he's like, okay, now we're done.
Yeah.
And he just started taking McGregor apart.
Yeah.
You know, and Conor McGregor, he's you know, at one point the UFC featherweight world champion. I think it was featherweight, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was one of those lightweight world champions.
He's like 146 potatoes.
Yes. He is Irish. Bastard had what he got coming fighting Dustin Poirier. He broke his own leg.
See, here's the thing. Conor McGregor was an unstoppable machine, but he has not actually had a win since Obama was president.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of on the tail end of his career. So I just feel bad for him.
Yeah. And, like, I think Jake Paul wants to fight him.
But they're not really fighting Conor McGregor of Obama era. They're fighting... How old is he now?
I don't know how old he is. He's over the hill, though. He's past his prime.
So I feel bad.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, back to the comments.
Sorry, we got a little sidetracked there. Both of us have ADD.
Oops. All right. There's a couple more of these, and then we'll actually get on to, like, real stuff.
Yeah.
Nonsense fight by Herrick.
Hold on a second. I have to smell my wine. This is not Hema. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Was never trying to be.
What is that? Big Bernerners. I think that's how that is. People just use a real name when you're ridiculous. Pretty cool, but a real samurai would be using kenjutsu and heavier, more protective armor. Is wrestling and jujitsu not allowed? Jiu-jitsu is ground grappling, and you can't ground grapple jiu-jitsu style in armor. That's not actually possible. I actually had an exchange with this guy.
Yeah. Well, so armor changes a lot of things when it comes to grappling. The things like tassets put space between our hips, so a lot of the hip work and hip throws that you can normally do don't apply in armor. It totally just shuts it down. So there is a form of grappling that works in armor, at least on the Western side, that's called ringen. And we do that when we're doing the grand melee.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a very effective way to win, is to throw people around. We are literally just trying to score points on each other, an amount of countered blows within a minute round, as per analogous, the historical documented rules.
All right, so we got one more. It's just this one right here, John, if you want to take that, and then we'll move on.
Port,
Yes.
give me pretentious strength. Literally pointless. None of the, quote, hits, unquote, would have actually done any damage given the armor. What's the point of wearing it if you're not going to pretend it doesn't exist? And say a katana lightly tapping a breastplate is a hit. Quote.
And that's Spaghetti MK. Clearly a Hema practitioner. That's always,
Yes. Well, fellow armchair warrior spaghetti something, we're not trying to kill each other. And as far as hits go, this was not a tournament. This was me and my buddy Jake hitting each other and working on goofy things that may or may not work. When we're actually in a tournament, if a hit does not have sufficient force, it's actually not counted.
That is correct.
And as far as damage done, me and Jake do a lot of cutting. And both of us can cut cleanly through a tatami mat from Kron. We can cleanly cut through a tatami mat from Striken, which is a reverse cut from Underhau, Oberhau. I can cut from... I can do a reverse false edge cut from Bicorneo through a tatami mat with that same force I was using on him.
Correct.
I mean...
I can cut through a tatami mat by simply quickly unsheathing and sheathing my katana.
That's right, because you're Katana Beard.
I am Katana Beard, Lords of the Edge.
You just Naruto run through a bamboo forest and everything just gets slapped down behind you.
There's always some like quaint farmer close by that sees it and goes, "Ah!" All right.
Okay.
So this really nice hat that you have has to come off and go back on
So,
the stand. 'Cause it's
guys,
really
we're
hot.
poking fun at you. It's in good fun. Here's the thing. That hat's actually mine. We're nerds at heart. Okay, we love the Lord of the Rings. We love some animes. We own the shit we're currently making fun of you with.
This hat has its own stand.
Yeah.
This fedora has a stand.
My fedora
where it sits
was actually made for... Here, bring it over here. You gotta see. They gotta see this.
Right.
So my hat was actually made for me by a hatter. It actually has my name in it. Oh, that was the old headband. Sorry. This headband is from 1936. It was recovered from a derelict store that went out of business in Chicago, and the guy who made me this hat, he does urban exploring, found it, brought it back to his hattery, and the name of the hattery is called Katana Beard. It's in Springville, Utah. And if you want a 100% beaver, authentic fedora with a 1936 black on black band, you can totally hit them up.
Oh, good times. All right, almost got this back on. All right, I'm gonna...
Take it in good strides. Basically, if you take our stuff too seriously, we're gonna make fun of you, as is the rest of the internet. Can I get changed back? Because this is actually
we'll
pretty
go ahead and
hot.
pause, and then we'll get back into it.
All right, we're back. We're back. We're in more comfortable clothes. That stuff is hot. Stuff is hot. Well, really, it was just too much to deal with all the sweet poontang throwing themselves at the window trying to
get at your amazing dime store katana and 90s trench coat.
Yeah, that was just I couldn't keep them off of me. We had to call the cops. The cops were like, "Dude, you're gonna have to take that trench coat off, man. It's pandemonium out here." Just just all, okay, I'm not going to go there. I'll get myself into trouble.
All right, so now we're going to switch gears a bit. We've had our fun. Let's actually talk about what we came here to talk about today.
Yeah.
Which was what?
So we were really going to get into the similarities and differences of katana and longsword. But we're going to do that through some of the questions that we were picking up on some of these videos. So let me go back to that original video that we were looking at with the 40,000 hits. Views. Yeah, I don't know what everybody's obsession is with that video. I really don't get it.
It was literally, so Jake is one of the top fighters in the Bohurt League here in the United States. And he is one of those obnoxiously gifted people where he'll pick up something he's never done before and do exceptionally well at it. So he was really proud of his new sword, and he's like, hey, Jonathan, I just got this sword, and I'm awesome at everything else. Let me hit you with it a few times.
Yeah, and my response was like...
Oh, no! We suck again!
Right?
It was such a bizarre experience. Like, you know, it's like going back to the when we very first started, like I'm all dancing around with this goofy ass footwork. I'm like, none of my footwork that I have ingrained in me after years of working with a straight blade works. So I'm like just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. And
he was literally holding a sword that guided my sword into his head. So it was worse than blocking. You were catching your sword so I could hit you for you.
Yes, I was helping you hit me.
And for some reason, it has 41,000 views.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
At this time.
Yeah.
Guys, since then, Jake's undergone some training. He uses one pretty properly these days. There are other videos. Please check them out.
Yeah. So I just want to start with this comment right here. You can see that the samurai has much more mobility, great armor technology. Yes, that's true. This is a little subjective. And a lot of that really is, the majority of your mobility limitations are due to your cuirass. And why don't you explain what that's all about?
So, my cuirass doesn't fit me properly, and it does not give me access to a lot of mobility that it should. The later period Gothic kits actually give 100% mobility. In fact, they are able to give every bit of the mobility any Eastern kit is capable of with a greater degree of protection. My particular cuirass that I'm fighting in doesn't, because it doesn't fit me properly.
Yes. Also, it's more like battle armor. You know, it's actually equine battle armor. If you look, I'm gonna actually go into the video really quick here.
Yeah, it's not really foot combat armor. I literally had it built because I liked it. I liked the way it looked. I wasn't aware of all the differences of armor at the time. So that armor is bomb-proof. Even if it fit me properly, it would probably limit 10% of my more extreme range of motions, because it is designed to stop lances from killing me. It is designed to stop, 1,600 pounds of angry warhorse and man slamming into another angry horse and
Yeah. Go ahead and pause real quick.
Okay.
Find it.
How much time are we up to? Film.
Okay.
All right, so we've pulled up a video. This is me and Jake fighting. Hopefully this is the one where I'm actually trying to fight you and not dicking around with one-handed bullshit. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Now, I really liked this fight because I actually pulled off a maneuver on you that I've never been able to do because you're too fast. Yeah, there we go. I draw you in. I go back to the one-handed guard. And then I'm just testing you. How sensitive are you? How far ahead are you trying to read me? Okay, so you're on high alert. I'm like, okay, I've probed the area. I see how he's responding. I'm gonna have to. There we go.
Yeah,
So we have yet to hit. Okay, so I hit you once, hit you twice, and that's it. I tried to do the one-handed thing. You nailed me for being an idiot. But so that ended exchange. So here's the thing.
That wasn't the one where you got me. That was another fight. This one where we both went for the same shot and we bound. We didn't actually hit each other.
I hit you.
There was another one where you hit me, where you did that.
So, but
I'll pull that
looks
up.
like this. So put on pause for a second. So we just got done talking about the differences between swords and between long swords and katanas, and I said for a purpose of purely dueling, a long sword gives an advantage. One of the reasons you weren't able to hit me is my shilts caught that.
Yeah.
And you have a curved blade. So you are at a substantial disadvantage to overbind me in this maneuver.
Right.
Even though it comes close. Like, I don't even think the video picks it up.
Yeah. You want me to... Here, I'll pull that back again. I think this is it.
So we both stop. We're both going for the same shot.
No, wait. No, that was back here. All right. Rewind it really quick.
Unhanded stuff, and you're just like, what's wrong with you?
Don't you use Fiore on me.
I love
it's right here. We just
boom. Dude, I know I hit you on that one.
No, that wasn't the one where you hit me.
Really?
No, you hit me one, and then that was the one I laughed because neither of us hit each other. We went for the exact same shot, and we just stopped each other. It was hilarious.
So okay, this is one of my. So this is the maneuver I'm really proud of. Go and back it up.
Yeah, that was actually pretty slick sauce.
Okay, so
you get me right
so pause it,
there.
Pause it.
Right there.
So I stick my blade out from the guard, one-handed guard, that forces him along a tram line and leaves my shoulder open. That's fine, but he has to now. You have to now transverse an entire distance to get to my shoulder, and all I have to do is wind.
Yep.
And I stop that, and now I'm behind your guard, and I score 2 points on you.
That
1, 2. It was awesome.
What happened? Why is it being so slow? We're like in a spotty internet part of the house.
Oh, he might be.
Yeah, that's the fight.
I've been trying to pull off that maneuver on you for years. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that was obnoxious as hell. And let's see. We'll pull up a couple others that sort of emphasize the differences.
Would you want to go over the stuff we did with Chad?
Chad.
We have those.
I have.
Have you cut those down and edited them, or?
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So what are we addressing here? Is the volume up?
Yes. So come on.
We always have good fun when we're together. People who like swords tend to be of 2 stripes. Totally cool.
Or just straight dicks.
Yes.
Why is my computer being so slow? All right, let's see. So what we were going over here is there's that meme on Facebook. There's that social media meme where you see a series of guards presented both in longsword and then in like kenjutsu. It's with a katana, and the guards look basically the same. They're like, oh, well, it's basically using them as pretty much the same. It's not. So here's an example of responding with one of those overheads, and then how you might respond with a katana in that situation. And then the next video I'll show you is doing it with a straight blade. I think this is the one. Come on.
For me, it's a jinkung because I'm
Yeah,
trained
whatever.
in gumdo. Well, it doesn't bother me, but it might bother some other people.
Well, that sigh wasn't you. The sigh was my computer being arbitrarily slow for no good fucking reason. All right.
So see how it slides off. So bring it back for a second. So the whole thing we're trying to show there is even though we may start. So stop. Pause it. So normally I'd want to collect his sword with my quillions or my shilts. But in this case, I actually want it to slide off and be far away from me in order to then respond.
Right.
That's the biggest difference. And largely that's just because of the shapes of the swords.
Right. Right. I'll take you to a quick example of me like doing that in like freaking spades. So where is it? It's this one. So you can see that principle in action big time when I'm fighting this guy at Nationals.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, nice guy.
You know a way to make it bigger?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like it's ready to go. We good? We good, computer? Huh?
Okay.
Huh? You ready to perform for daddy?
I love it when you actually use skill.
My God, this computer is pissing me off.
Look at that. Oh, man. Collecting every single one of those.
So a quick pause here. Yeah, he threw that punch. I'm
He's
like,
so mad.
Punches don't award you points in this format, dickwad.
Brute.
Now, one of the key differences, longsword, you collect all the strikes that your opponent throws at you with your strong. The strong exists on a katana for one reason only. It connects you to the rest of the sword that you actually use. The strong is there for titanic fuck-ups and nothing else. It doesn't actually do anything. When you're interfacing with your opponent's sword, for the most part, there's always exceptions, but you really don't use it to collect an incoming strike. You use your mid blade to either push it to the side or deflect it away from you.
Yes.
All right, so moving forward.
At least to hate on Gumdo.
Yeah.
Sure
well, it's basically the same in Kenjutsu from what I've been able to tell.
That's fine. Throw a punch. He's trying to get inside your head because he can't get through your defense.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. And
so you see everything that you just saw John do with Chad in that previous video right there.
Yep.
It's right there. Then here, boom, 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 boom,
Yep.
boom. Mm-hmm. Just collect it, move around the sword.
Nicely done, Jake.
Thank you.
Nice. You like to pop up. You need to get out of that habit.
Well, I have skinny little chicken legs, and getting into that low squat is work when you're wearing armor. It's a lot of work. Yeah, he seriously tried a leg sweep on me. I'm like, man, those don't work. I have such deep-seated commitment issues. I'm not even committed to the ground when I'm standing on it. Get out of town with your leg sweep bullshit. Better fighters than you can't make it work.
Who was that? Who was doing that?
He was the guy that you fought in Galveston for gold. Yeah. He's improved a lot.
Has he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not like double tapping the leg just to rack up points with these little dippy taps.
I will state for the record that the fight we had was BS. Dude came up to me and was like, tink, 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 tink on my leg, and they were counting it. And then I actually talked with the refs and found out they were taking my points I scored on him and cutting him in half because my sword bends. They were like, we're counting half of yours as flats.
Yeah.
And we still went 6 rounds. I had a concussion.
You should have beat him.
And I should have beat him.
That was such Titanic bullshit.
It was a bad call on the refs.
Yeah.
There's no reason you should have won that.
That happens. The shit that happens in the Olympics, there's no sporting competition where you're not subject to referee calls. I want to see more comments that we can respond to. Come on. The first video I've seen where they're actually skilled, and this wasn't even that great of a video.
You know what, Sleeping Turtle? That's fair.
That is fair.
That's fair. We'll own that.
Let's see. Good vid. Samurai, you were to linear draw on him and then sidestep and strike. Yes.
Hey, that's James Owen?
James Owen.
That's a good call. You're right.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, more neck beard. If those were real armors and swords, most of the hits won't be effective. Kind of true. The first one, Hans, that video that I put up with the guy in the shiny armor, he had bruises on his forearms where I was, offsetting and going off sides. So it's not entirely true. That's actually the difference with katanas and longswords. Katanas really thump.
Yeah.
They hit really hard.
I will give it up to the katana. The jinkums, they thump hard.
Let's see. For Honor 2 still has the same balance issues.
Who's that said that?
That's Karu.
Karu?
Yes,
that's a
thank
good
you.
comment. Yeah.
And that's because I very clearly won the spar.
Yeah. O2's a new fighter though.
Yeah.
He's gonna be good once he refines his.
Yeah, he's getting better. As a person who has studied in Kenjutsu and Kendo, you aren't doing a bad job at it. Well, thank you, Frostbite 9921 Re.
Yeah.
And then nothing interesting.
And thank you to me too, because I'm training him.
Yes. Where are more comments that are really, really juicy? Have good stuff in them. Come on.
Oh, this is before Grant knew what to do about the fact you had a katana. So even though you had no idea what you were doing, you just wiped the floor with him.
Wrecking his shit.
That's awesome. One of the reasons you were so happy to challenge me, because you're like, "Oh, I'm really good at this." And I'm like, "Nope."
And you stop hitting me. I'm in guard. What's going on here? This guard shuts that shot down. This is bullshit. I'm so pissed.
And here's the thing: Grant's normally an excellent fighter.
Yeah. I don't know why he couldn't wrap his head around it.
Well, he still can't. I personally think they need to throw more strikes. The knight didn't use his range at all. Well,
so okay,
yeah,
that's Philip.
Yes.
Philip, again, so Philip is recovering from a major surgery and cancer, so he's just a ghost, an aberration on the field, who wants to keep his muscle mass and have some fun. So you're not gonna see a lot of performance out of Philip.
Well, using his range, his sword is the same length as mine. Yeah. So it's actually, it's about the same length.
It's actually slightly shorter, I'd say, than your blade.
Yeah, but I've also got that ridiculous curve.
Yeah.
Man, I wish people did cool stuff in parks where I live. Well, yeah.
Well, Owl.
Let's see, Owl Trowel.
If you ever come to Utah, we'll put you in armor and you can come beat us with swords.
Let's see. Why the samurai is using katana? I think naginata is what they use in combat, while katana and wakizashi are just side weapons.
You are not wrong.
You're also not right.
You're also not right. Who is? I can't.
Yeah,
it's Kanji. It was posted 2 days ago. I'm sorry, but okay. Do you want to answer this or sorry?
Well, again, it's sport combat. We're using. It's sport combat, so within the longsword category, it's a sword between 4 and 5 feet long.
Yes.
So we're sparring in that context.
We have to use similar-esque swords,
yes,
even if they're from different cultures.
Correct. And then a bunch of stuff about okay, I'm not even gonna bother with this guy.
Oh come on, that was. Oh come on, this guy's a bit. The douche is strong with this one.
Secret agent. I think the knight would win. Samurai use spears and bows mainly, and their swords as a last resort because Europe had an abundance of iron. Japan had a scarcity of iron. True. The samurai was made shorter and thinner. No.
No.
That's not true. The knight had better reach.
again, not exactly true. The knight swords were double-edged, while samurai sword was single-edged. Well, your powers of deduction, sir, are legendary. How did you work that out?
So, Secret Agent, you're running along semi-right lines. Like, I can see where your logic goes. But here is the thing. Jake and I actually put this armor on. We actually fight each other. Him and I have actually traveled the world. I've talked with historians, museum curators. We both train in this. And the fact of the matter is this. If you took a samurai who had equal level of skill with his weapon and armor versus a knight who had equal level of skill with his weapon and armor, it would be a lot closer than you think.
I would agree with that.
That being said, especially the later period armor would give the European a bit of an advantage because it's safer, protects better, but gives the same movement, whereas Japanese kit stagnated for a while, which left a lot of gaps and openings.
Yes. Well, yeah, and Japanese armor was optimized and designed to beat arrows. They fought each other and their neighbors, like they fought like the Mongolians. They didn't fight like their Western counterparts at all. So the armor did a good job of beating arrows, but it didn't do a good job of beating mass weapons and things like that. The armor was a lot more gappy because a lot of time they were on a horse.
Yeah.
So the leg protection on samurai armor is complete shit.
Yes.
Like just horrendously bad.
And the hand armor and the wrist armor.
The hand, yeah, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's been a trip trying to make that work.
That being said, there are historical examples of East meets West and having duels, and historically speaking,
West wins.
The Westerners
win.
Yeah. They what's the actual historical account?
Let's see. So there was a small company of like 42 Spanish mercenaries that got into it with an army of samurai and just wrecked their shit.
Like it was so one-sided.
Yeah, the Spanish ran out of gunpowder gunning them down, so they got out their swords and their sabers, and then they just charged them, and they had bayonets and shit, and just ran right through them. It wasn't even close. It was bad. It was very much a slaughter. All right, we'll take a couple more, and then I think we'll kind of get to where we're wrapping this up, huh? Unless you want to do commentary on a couple more fights. We can do that and see how we're feeling. See if we're feeling filthy.
See if we're feeling it.
Let me go to... Okay, that's just like my live stream stuff that nobody watches. I have more videos than this. What the fuck?
Some of those black and white ones that you did, I love the crap out of those ones.
Let's see, this is the one where I was fighting O2. Do I have any comments on this one? Nothing. Nobody's even watched it.
Guys, if you somehow found our channel, check out the other videos. Don't look at the worst one we have.
That's awful. That's awful. So
yeah, look at that.
I tried to go into that hanging, but I tied my straps that hold up my arms too tight, so I had super limited mobility.
But your form, dude, you were shutting him down. O2's a really strong fighter.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the skill level yet to compete on your level, but he's strong and he's fast.
I was being such a fat, lazy piece of shit this whole weekend when we were doing these fights. No movement. I'm not squatting down. I've got these high Western guards. I'm like, fuck it. I was so tired. It's like the first time in over a month I'd been in kit because I'd been on concussion recovery protocol. It was a bad time. It was a bad time to be Jake. Let me make sure that's still doing what we want it to do. Okay, good. We're good. You know what? Just because I know it's going to piss you off.
We're gonna do okay, so there's this one. So I was screwing around with Jake. I'd never done one-handed fighting in armor.
You didn't do one-handed the whole time, Jonathan.
And
I just want to acknowledge
that's because it really didn't work, Jake. It was really terrible. And so I try to deflect a two-handed weapon that is more effective at striking power than a longsword while one-handing my light Italian dueling blade. It was just bad.
There you go. All right. I'm in my high guard, and I'm like, I don't know how to use that yet.
We'll go over that next.
Yeah.
Oh,
I picked that because I'm an asshole.
Because don't foam fight me. I'm like, if you're not going to take this seriously, I won't take this seriously. Yeah. I still get some on you. Yeah.
I caught a bunch there. You're still fighting me, right? And then
And then you try some dumb shit in a second here.
And
like you pick that second shot. Yeah, here
and then
it is.
you crack me
Boom,
across
boom.
the head. Boom.
And that was his helmet, like cracking open. Like
Oh
it
my
made the
gosh.
whole assembly flex. Dude, that katana hits so hard. No dachi. Fine. Calling it a katana.
And then you're fighting with it like a gene cone.
Yeah.
We're so bastardizing this.
Fuck it, dude.
I'm like,
I use what
okay.
works. Bam! Okay.
Oh, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to one-hand you anymore.
Okay, so, like, this shit where I'm getting you here, like, you're fighting me. Don't tell me you're not fighting me.
At first, here,
Yeah,
see,
here.
that's a hit, that's a hit, that's a hit.
That's
fine.
a hit, that's a hit,
But I'm
that's a
stopping
hit.
most of those except for the 2 you picked on my arm.
That was a hit.
No, that wasn't.
Yeah,
that
it was.
wasn't a hit.
Don't
Bring it
tell me
back.
it
Bring
wasn't
it
a
back.
hit.
Bring
Don't
it
tell
back.
me it wasn't a hit.
No. Hold on. That was a hit. You can see
Yeah.
my armor flex.
Boom, boom,
That
hit.
wasn't a
I was
hit.
picking your elbows because you chicken wing when you're in armor. Like, you chicken wing so bad.
I have to in that armor to be able to move in it. It's
That's
not-
fine. That's fine. But, like, the elbows are just, they're out there and they want it bad. They want daddy to come say hi. And I do. There's just, like, you're like this and I'm like, is it a trap?
I have to in that armor.
Yeah,
my
it's
next
fine.
armor will be for foot combat armor.
Yeah.
And I won't be doing that. It will weigh 20 pounds less, allow me to actually move, and you can actually see me fighting at full speed.
Okay. All right. We'll do one more. Kenjutsu versus Bloschfechten. That's what Grant's using here, right? Here, I'm gonna pause that. I think just look for a couple comments. Who won and Tau Empire? We've been talking, dude. You're cool.
Yeah.
I wish more
Empire.
people were more like you on the internet.
Yeah.
There's this
You're a
one
cool
guy.
dude.
Yeah. There's this other dude paying me compliments on the Great Swordie fight. He's like, "How long you been doing Hema? Like, my uncle did this for like 10 years, and you never got to your level." I'm like, I don't do it.
You do 0. The only actual training you've had has been my Hit on Gumdo training.
Yeah. Basically a crash course in
Yeah.
Hit and Gumdo, and then some notes. But yeah, I mean that's what Grant's using. This Bloschfechten, right?
Yep.
Okay, or something like it.
Something close to it because there's no thrust.
Yeah, no thrust and armor is a thing.
Grant just doesn't know how to overcome your katana yet. Like, he doesn't realize that all he has to do is strike your head to predict where your sword's going to be.
Well, here's the thing. Watch. He goes side to side. He never goes straight in.
Huh. Which is weird because he's actually a good fighter.
Well,
Normally.
see, he never. He actually got me right there. Boom, boom. He just got me right in the armpit. Clever dick. Boom.
If you're not armored.
Yeah, it just got me. And here's the thing, like I cinched up all of my Ito lacing on it, so it all sits better. And I'm like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be the whole time. I've been fighting this one. That was scary. And so I have almost no gap, and he got it. And I'm like, dang, dude, that was impressive.
And Chad hits hard. Yeah, by Corneo. I actually showed that to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Jake's been racking you up. I'm going to show you a few things that might beat him.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
he tries it, and then I like.
Oh, but he got...
No, he didn't get me in any of that.
How? I would have nailed you.
Look. So I go for the strike, catch it.
That back one, that was not on purpose, but it was still cool.
It was, well, I was, here's the thing.
You pulled that out of your butt and it worked. That's what happened.
I was here, and I'm like his right shoulder is like right here, so I'm like, my front's protected. Fuck it.
It worked. Gosh. That's so lucky.
Yeah. That was so funny. There's this kid up in this corner over here yelling, "Samurai, samurai!" And I finally look over one time. He's like, "I want to be just like you one day." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet child.
Aim higher.
You can do better than that, kid. You can do better than that."
It's nice when the crowd starts shouting for you.
Yeah.
So, to our listeners out there, Jake's old armor basically looked like he was cosplaying as Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, it was dumpster.
It was
armor.
bad. So, like, him and I would get in an arena together and people would start shouting, "Black Knight, Black Knight, Black Knight," and no one shouts for Jake.
Yeah.
So he actually put some effort into this armor he has now, and dude, the crowds love it. The kids love it. You put on a good show, Jake.
Oh, thanks.
So
man.
I'm glad you can finally enjoy it.
Yeah. There's always, like, I actually got a couple of quote unquote favors, and it was just like, it was scrunchies and ties and stuff from
really?
some of the girls. Yeah. I'll be honest, phone numbers have been rolling in since I got this armor. Then this one, I'm being a fat, lazy turd. That's just, that's
You know,
so out of shape.
to Grant's... So so Grant can save face, can we show him the video of him great sorting you and just racking you up?
Here's the thing, he didn't hit me that many times. I just didn't hit him that many times. He covered a lot.
But he looked at like he knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
You looked like you didn't know which end was the pointy end.
Really? Well, it felt like riding a bike, picking up a straight blade. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I'm like, I'm also really tired, and my armor feels really heavy, so I'm gonna half-ass this.
You tap at him vaguely like a sword-like object, and he's like going from boar's tooth to back cut to. I mean,
yeah, he was working real hard and not getting any points because I just kind of sat there in this super half-assy hanging guard.
Look at that, beautiful.
It was awesome. Okay, so to his credit, actually,
yeah.
Coming back to that maneuver on my Instagram, Fightsword Radio Instagram, go check it out. One of my friends was like, I like this fight the best because of that twirly figure 8 move. That's what she said. Let's see, where is it? It's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's doing cool shit. And like my shit was too tight and I was feeling fat and lazy, so I didn't want to do anything. There it is. Boom.
He for whatever reason, he doesn't seem to understand. When you go into Hongen, you just drop it a little low and bring it in horizontal, and you get under the Hongen and you score a point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach that to him, and it's like
He just won't do it.
he won't do it.
He's a kata fighter when he duels. He fights kata. He doesn't actually like problem solve. That's why.
Okay.
I'm like, he problem solves, and then if he takes me to a third round, he gasses about 20 seconds in. I'm like, this is where you'd find out who the champions are. Boom, boom.
Yeah, look at you. You're like, I'm tired and fat.
Yeah, because I was. I was very, very skinny fat. All right, we'll get one more. All right, we'll get the other greatsword fight real quick here. Make sure it's actually
We'll call it good after that?
Yeah, I think so.
We hope you guys have enjoyed this. Obviously, we love the sound of our own voice, so we're probably having much more fun than you. But, hey, if you like this, let us know. If you think our rebuttals to some of the comments was wrong, let us know. We want to hear from you. We enjoy the compliments, but believe it or not, we also really enjoy the overly serious know-it-alls as well. Dude,
yeah, if you're a pretentious dick, please comment, because, man, like that first one we opened with, I was laughing. I was actually, like, I was scrolling on the toilet, and I shit myself laughing. I was laughing hysterically. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. There's so much about that was wrong. First of all, my sword's not a tachi, because tachis were made before katanas. They preceded katanas, and they didn't have differential tempers or anything. I have a nodachi that I call a katana for the clickbait. People are looking for katanas, not nodachis. Nobody even knows what a nodachi is. You. No, that actually wasn't it. I just stepped out of it. Bap. It's like, I knew he was tired, but I'm like, I just don't want to like take advantage of you. Boom, boom.
That was a guard. You hit the guard on that.
Yeah, I know. Well, dude, his quillians are like a foot long. Look at those fucking things.
Well, they actually were before, too.
Oh, I know, but
it's
like
historically accurate.
Those quillians are absurd. They're a damn travesty.
Man, he's tired.
Yep.
To his credit, he stayed on his feet.
Yeah.
Even though he was
well, he hasn't been getting in armor, so he's out of shape. All right. How do we want to wrap this thing up? Comment more.
We love it.
And we actually really love it. I love it when people comment, whether it's good, whether it's positive or negative, whether it's a pretentious know-it-all or somebody asking honest questions. Please comment. Tell us what you want us to cover next. What kind of fighting you want us to do.
And honest critiques that are good, heck, we'll take them. There were some good ones in there where people pointed out what we were doing wrong, and we're like, okay, fair enough.
All right.
And if any of you live close to Utah and you want to challenge any of us to a duel, bring it.
Yes. Don't just talk shit. Come and fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I super want to hit you. All right, so this has been a night of answering the comments. Thank you so much.
Okay, first, I was minding my own business.
Bullshit!
I was!
Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you on the next one.